Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Frizzy's Corner Bar, our afternoon Halloween edition.
Yes, it's a special edition, special day here. So I made chicken wings. I smoked them out on the grill, and they're sort of spicy. I'll be showing you guys how I do that shortly.
So we're going to call them bloody bones or something like that in the Halloween spirit.
Yeah, they kind of look like fingers, so you'll see them shortly.
And I am going to make 2 Halloween cocktails. And what I'm doing is I'm actually going to make a couple cocktails that we've made before, and I'm just going to do a couple different coloring techniques and decorating techniques to make them a little haunted looking. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Yeah, why don't you go first? Because what I have to do won't take that long.
Okay.
And if you're wondering about my outfit, my black shirt and my white eyebrows, I used to go as Mr. Clean, and I did win a contest, and at Station 8, I won a $200 gift certificate for first place. But I thought, let me see how it is on the dirty side. So I'm Mr. Dirty, but I couldn't get rid of the white eyelashes.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't.
Honestly, what happened is Jake, when he moved out, he took all the T-shirts. I have no T-shirt. I had not one white T-shirt except for a Jerry Jeff Walker and one that said France on it. So didn't seem appropriate. So I thought I'd go as Mr. Dirty.
Yes, and I'm my typical persona.
Yes.
So, okay, I am going to start. I'm going to start with a ideal gin martini. And now what I did with the gin, this is going to be a black cocktail. I'm going to measure out this gin so you can see it. I've have this gin sitting out for a little bit. As you can see, whoops, let me get this brawler stopped here. So you can see, as you can see, that gin is very black. And all I did, and so you could do this with gin, you could do this with vodka, any clear liquor you can do this with, but I have activated charcoal, which is a food grade. You can actually take this. I bought this because supposedly if you take a few of these when you're drinking, you don't feel as hungover the next day. So this is even a better benefit in this drink is that you're filtering out the alcohol as well. So the ones I have just come in little capsules, and I took a cup of gin and just 3 of these capsules, and probably 2 would have been good enough. But you'll see that is black, and I'm just making a martini. So I just have the 2 ounces of the gin, and I'm going to put 1 ounce of dry vermouth. So when you do this, right, because it is black, you don't want to be adding other colors that can, muddy up that color, which is why I'm just doing an ounce of the dry vermouth and then a dash of the orange bitters. And I'm going to stir this cocktail. And let's see, it looks like we have a few viewers. If anybody has any comments, I am getting a message here about, whoops, I didn't mean to put this in there, about some comments cannot be posted. So I'm not sure if we're having some issues with the with comments or not. So if you're here, give us a shout out and let us know you're there. And I am just going to stir this till it gets nice and chilled. And I am going to pour this into a coupe glass. And this is called a full moon martini. And you'll see why in just 1 second. So I'm going to pour the black so you can see the black. And then we're going to take our sphere, and we are going to float that in the middle of the cocktail. It's a little full. This is Mike's, but I will because I'm going to drink the other one. So that is your full moon martini. So it's kind of a fun little take. The activated charcoal. It's not like food coloring, so it's not going to leave your teeth and your tongue all black. You might see a little bit of black on your teeth and tongue, but it's not going to be like like you ate a bunch of food coloring.
Okay.
So that's yours.
Okay, thank you.
I will make the next. What you wanna? You wanna do your thing now, or sorry?
Now, why don't you go ahead and make your cocktail? So while she's doing that, I don't know if people out in the Midwest and other regions of the country know, but we had a huge storm. They predicted high winds and a nor'easter with some rain, but I think it was a lot worse than what they had predicted. We had a recorded wind of 98 miles per hour in Scituate, and where we live here on Holly Hill, right over Hummerock, which is part of Scituate, we had winds in excess of 87 miles an hour is what I was told. But we had gusts constantly going 70, 75 miles an hour, and the amount of damage from trees was the worst we'd ever seen in our 32 years. We've seen hurricanes, we've seen blizzards, but we'd never seen anything like the wind that we got. And we lost power. We didn't get power back till 6 o'clock last night. We have
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah, we have a whole house generator, so it kicks on automatically, but we lose internet, we lose cable, all of that kind of stuff. And 100% of Scituate was out, and I think like 97% of Marshfield. And I don't know how many other percentages for the other communities, but it's an incredible storm, like nothing we've ever been through.
Okay, so now this cocktail I'm doing, it's actually a riff on the Boulevardier. But again, I wanted to go with classic cocktails. I didn't want to pick any kind of strange flavorings or something. So this one is called the Fogerty. And I'm putting rye whiskey. So it's 2 ounces of rye whiskey, a half an ounce of Campari, and then a half an ounce of creme de cassis, which a quarter ounce, sorry. Creme de cassis is black currant. So we're going to put that in there to kind of give it, so I'm going for reds here, right? Because this the cocktail is a Fogerty, but I'm going to call it a witch's blood. You'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. This cocktail typically calls for orange bitters, but again, I'm going to try to get more red in it. And Pashad's is red, and it actually goes well with, I like Pashad's with the rye whiskey. Okay, so I'm going to serve this in a chilled coupe. Now, what I'm doing to this cocktail to make this interesting is Mike actually went out and got this for me at Lorraine's Cake Supply. This is food grade edible glitter. So they use it a lot to decorate cakes. I'm going to put the glitter into this cocktail, if I can get it open without spilling it.
Lorraine's is over in Hanover. It's an amazing bake supply shop. She has everything. I'd never been there. I picked this up on Friday when I was out running some errands, and talk about a cool shop.
So I'm just going to I put like a little, it was 1/8 of a teaspoon in. And I've made this a couple times, and I've just been experimenting with, we have silver, red, and black. See, I probably put a little too much in. But now you'll see this glitter. It actually makes the coolest effect on the cocktail. You can, I hope you can see it, how it spins around. Maybe we'll put it on the food cam because I think you might be able to see better. And so I'm just going to pour this in here.
Yeah, put it on there and then show how it moves around.
Yeah, so let's see here. I'm going to show this in the food cam. So I'm going to give it a stir so you can absolutely see how it's iridescent and
how this all blends together.
So, and this too doesn't really introduce any flavors.
Cheers.
Cheers. W.
I think you should have put a little bit more in that glass.
I know. Well, I should have put the ice cube in before I poured the cocktail. That was my mistake. So.
Okay, so
I forgot to stir this on the ice. I was so excited about putting the glitter in.
yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like it's warm.
I didn't, but go ahead, you can do your thing. I'm gonna
Okay.
make
So I got a
taste
tool for all the trick-or-treaters. They come by, I don't like them. We're gonna zap them. Not really, we're not. Right. I do keep that in the kitchen. So what I did is I made these chicken wings, and I actually shot a 3-part video that I'm gonna try to get to post up on to our site. And it's only a couple of minutes long for each of the 3 steps, but it was super simple. I wasn't sure. I had gotten it from Cook's Country, which is in Boston, or they're in Vermont actually, but they're on PBS, and they do all kinds of testing of recipes and things like that. And on things that are new, I always want to try them out and then make my own modifications over time. But I had made them. I'm going to post the recipe tomorrow and on our site, so you'll be able to look at what the ingredients are. But it's really nothing crazy. It's paprika, some chili powder, garlic, black pepper, a little bit of salt, some sugar, and a few other things. So I'm going to pull them out. I have them right here. Let me just
Cheers.
cheers.
Mm,
So
much better.
yes.
So that.
Good. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see these. So what we have the drumettes, which are just basically little drumsticks. And then these are called the flats. These are the middle piece. So you have the tip of the wing, which I just cut those off, threw them away because there's not enough meat on there to mess with. Then you have the middle part. Those are called the flats. And they're flat. And then they're basically like little drumsticks. And what I did is I made up my grill, and I left a spot where there were no charcoal briquettes. And I also made up a foil packet, and I put about 2 cups of applewood chips in there. I didn't wet them or anything. I kept them dry. I didn't want to create too much smoke, and that can happen sometimes when you use wet chips. And these weren't going to cook for that long. They were only on there for 40 minutes total time. So I put the packet down. I dumped all my hot briquettes on top of that packet. I left a space where there were no charcoal briquettes. I put all of the drumstick sizes over the briquettes. And for the flats, I left on the unheated or the indirect side. I had the vents open all the way, put the lid on it, let it go for 20 minutes, went out there, flipped it over. The chicken, not the grill. And then I have flipped over the grill. And then I did the other side, and then I brought them in. And so what I'm going to do is I made up a little sauce.
Right when I take it off screen.
Yep. So this sauce is really simple as well. It's a couple tablespoons of ketchup, and I'll give you the complete recipe. It's some of the spice mix that I made up that's in here, and there's 4 tablespoons of butter, a little bit of salt, and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Sorry, I don't always have all my tools here, so I have to go back and get them. And so this is I'm just gonna now pour the chicken in here. Let me see, is there anything else in here? No, that was it. And then just gonna dump this in here. And then I'm gonna stir those around. So when I cook this chicken, I tempt it to about 180 degrees. And then I put it in that big bowl there and just covered it with foil and had it under the heat lamp over there on the stove.
I'm going to hide that cam now.
Okay.
So they can see you.
All righty.
We got a couple comments. Maggie Blackwell says, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, Maggie.
Thank you. Happy
Thank
Halloween.
you for joining us. Stephen Quinn says, cheers. Cheers, Stephen. And Jane says, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, Jane.
Okay, I've got one more thing to show.
Okay.
Actually, two things. I'm not going to plate this up because I don't think we're going to eat right yet, but ooh, that's
Careful.
still really hot. Yeah. Okay, so what I did is I made some baked beans, and sometimes I'll put them into a crock pot or something of that nature. I like using these all-clad skillets for a lot of my baking.
Okay, there you go.
Like this. So this is just baked beans, brown sugar, mustard, all that good stuff is in there. And then I had a couple of strips of bacon, 3 strips of bacon that I laid on top that you can just see a little bit of there. And then I just sprinkled a little bit of brown sugar over the top of it. So that's gonna accompany our chicken. And then last, this isn't super fancy, but we eat a lot of cabbages. I made up a little cabbage slaw here. And I know it doesn't look all that appetizing, but it's a purple cabbage slaw.
It looks nice. It'll be good for the, so goes with the holiday colors.
And check these out of my garden. Here.
Keep turning.
I'm getting more. I have radishes out there in the garden. And I have one Scotch bonnet pepper left on my pepper plants. So
okay.
That's all I have.
That's all we have. So happy Halloween, everybody. And sorry we missed you on Friday. We just, we didn't, with the power situation, we wouldn't have been ready to go. So
yeah, and we weren't sure if we were going to have power.
So. And happy Halloween.
Cheers.
Cheers.